All right, hello everybody. Uh, if this looks familiar, this is that vevor diesel heater that I had actually installed into my trailer conversion. I am sorry I did not make a video installing it or showing it installed. I kind of got into some cold weather here and had to just throw it in. Didn't really have time to make a video. Also, it would have been really bad if I did. Reason is because I'm using my cell phone and I would have to just hold my phone. It would not have looked pretty. So hopefully I spared you from watching a horrible video that would have not been very nice to watch. But anyway, here we are. This is that vevor diesel heater. I have used it for about 3 months maybe. It does work good when it's working. Obviously, it is on the table, and it is not working. So, basically, if you can see, I have already removed said screws all the way around the outside of it. I took them out, and then I said, hey, maybe we should make a YouTube video about us fixing the diesel heater. What had happened was I was using it one night, and it just shut off and then displayed error codes, several error codes, basically failure to light, so failure to fire. I believe that is E-08. So basically what that is if you pay attention to one of these diesel heaters when it is running, you will actually hear a clicking noise, and that clicking noise is the fuel pump. It is called a dosing or metering pump. When it is running, you will hear clicking noises. It's basically a solenoid going on, off, and basically the faster it clicks, the more it pumps. The slower it clicks, the slower and less fuel it pumps, as required by the heater. I'm not going to say that this failed because it is a Amazon, heater. They are known. There are sayings that they will fail, that this is a common problem. This could have been my fault. There have been several times where I have left this heater running and I have run out of fuel. I am sure that running out of fuel is probably what made the pump go bad. It's happened a couple times, 3 or 4 times, where I have ran out of fuel, ran it dry. Obviously, for anything like that, that is not a good thing to run out of fuel. So, like I said, I already took all the screws out. I decided to make a YouTube video. Boss Man was very kind enough, because he knows that I am starting to make some YouTube videos. He got me a fancy little tripod, which is now holding my phone. So we're going to give that a go. This is the first time I'm using that, so hopefully this will be a clear and steady video. But we're going to get into opening this thing up. I got a replacement pump from Amazon as well. It is, I will probably show a picture of it, looking nice on the Amazon, showing you which one I got. But for video's sake, this is what comes in the mail. And hopefully I could get that to maybe focus. Maybe not. Ah, there we go. So that is going to be the replacement pump that I believe is the correct one. It is 2023, so it is very inclusive, where it does say for all diesel heaters. It is nice that it is for all diesel heaters and not just some, being in 2023. We got to worry about these things, Let me open this little bad boy up real quick. This is what it looks like. This is here. Little 12-volt pump, in, out, and little electric plug. So we're going to get into this thing. I'm going to take the cover off here. We are going to hopefully replace this tonight because it is cold and I need my heat back. So like I said, I took off all the screws already. You got to take off the cap for the fuel tank. Hopefully we're not going to make a mess because it is fuel. It is full with fuel. I really don't want to, and you can see, I am doing this in the shop. I don't want to make a mess in the shop. I'm going to try not to. Really don't want to clean it up. Ah. So there we go. Top off. Throw that on the floor. As you can see, my tank is full of diesel. Throw this cap back on it so we don't have any accidents. Maybe I can point something out here. Maybe you can see it, maybe you can't. Right there in that corner. This is the front of the heater. This would be where hot air is going out that way, warming up your living space. This is the little controller that is on the front of it, the front display and all that. Rear of the unit over here. So we have the fuel pump, which would be, if you're looking at it from the front side, it would be on the right-hand side, behind the tank right here. Right there in that corner, that would be our fuel pump. It's pretty easy once you get it off and you can clearly see this. Let me see if I can get in closer maybe and show it. Yeah, maybe not. Let me just leave it as it is real quick. Or maybe I will actually move it. Yeah, hang on one second. But anyway, there's our pump all tucked in there. Looks like there is enough hose that we are going to do this cleanly without making a mess. Sorry, boss man, if you're watching this, if I do make a mess, I will do my best at cleaning it up, obviously. So we have a connector right here. I'm just going to kind of push the wire in. There's a retaining clip. Let's just push the retaining clip in, pull out. It's easy. Like I said, I think I said that earlier, my fuel pump is kind of easy to say, hey, it's probably the fuel pump because there was no more clicky clicky. So that means no pumpy pumpy for the heat. I have that out now. Looks like there is just a rubber retainer that is just kind of holding it to the rear, and that is with a little bolt. So now I got to go get a little something to get the bolt off of the backside. So hang on, I'll be right back. All right, here we are. We're back. It's a 10mm bolt that's on the backside. I don't feel like finding a 10mm, so what we are going to use is handy dandy pliers. This will work just fine for something like this. There's no need to be overly professional. Just getting the job done will do. It was basically not even that tight. I can now loosen it by hand so that we can at least pull this thing out a little bit so we have a little bit more room to work. It is honestly not going to be that bad to replace this pump. Now we can just wiggle and pull, get this thing to come free. Now we have this pump out into a workable area. There is the bolt that was holding the rubber retainer to the backside. Now, obviously, the lines still have fuel in them, so we're going to try to be as clean as possible. Being as such, I have a handy dandy rag here that will work just fine. If there's any fuel that is going to spill, we have a nice used orange juice container with a little bit of orange juice still in it. We're just going to use that to catch the diesel. We are not sponsored by this orange juice brand, at least not yet. Hint, hint, if you guys want to, it would help out. So we're just going to catch any fuel that will spill. Trying to do this cleanly, as I said. So the hoses are held on with little hose clamps. On this model here that I have, it is just flathead screwdriver, or it also looks like maybe an 8mm. But we are going to do this quickly as well, so we don't have the opportunity for a mess. We're going to crack this loose. Loose enough that we can get this off. There shouldn't be any pressure. These things usually don't run at any significant or mentionable pressure. Good thing to do is when you're taking these off, take them off slowly. Try to pull them off at like a little bit of an angle when you get towards the top. So it'll help you control any spillage or drippage. And you can always use your thumb. Okay, nothing right there. So just tuck this hose in an upward fashion, so that this way gravity will help keep the fuel down. Now what we're going to do is we are going to take off the bottom. Wiggle, wiggle. And then we can start lifting this up, like gravity, help control if there's any fuel spillage. All right, got our finger on top. Lift it up, create an air bubble. Stay. All right, so we do have a little bit of fuel in there. I got my finger blocking the one end, which was oriented as the top. So where the top of the connector is our retainer that will hold the pump to the back housing. We're just going to slip off of the bottom. It does not take much to do that. So, and while you're doing that, we can slip that onto the new pump. It's a little loose on this new pump, but that's all right. It's just meant to hold it in place so it's just not wiggling and flopping around in there. Our new pump also has little plastic plugs on that. So what we can do is also take these plugs off. And then what we can do is we can plug up the old pump that still has some fuel in it, and then we can go drain this a little bit later at our own convenience. Grab the other one here. Like I said, we're trying not to make a mess here tonight. It's a Friday night. It is, probably, I think, I don't have a clock in front of me, but probably 11:30. I don't feel like doing this anyway, but we got to be doing it. Got to be done because I want some heat and it's cold outside. So here we are. Now this one, remember this was our bottom hose. Put that on the bottom of the pump. Just push it on in, push it on home. This pump is a little bit longer as far as the nipples on it. Don't ban me because I said nipples on the pump. But you'll feel when the little flared end goes into the pump or into the hose, it sits exactly where the old one did. We'll just tighten up our clamps now. Make them nice and snug. I see a lot of people when they're doing hose clamps, they go overly tight. You don't have to kill it. You don't have to squeeze the ever-living life out of it. It will be fine. It's just snug. Like I said, there's not really any pressure that goes through here. And this is going to be the suction side anyway. So it would rather go up and through the pump rather than leak out through the bottom. More so the top would be what you would really think where the leaks would be. Again, this is not really going to happen since there's no real pressure. Just making sure my orientation is going to be right. So this kind of little test fit. Just making sure the orientation is going to be okay for when I put it in there. Make sure that I'm not going to have all the hoses going to be blocking me or getting pinched off or chafing against anything, causing an issue in the future. It's a pain when you have to do this once. You definitely don't want to do it twice. So that'll also be a note to self. Don't run the pump dry. Don't run out of diesel. It's not a good thing. There we go. Get our top hose back onto this. This side's a little bit looser, so we are going to have to tighten down a little bit more. But again, just snug, plus a little Just make it tight, just so you're not having any leaks. Make sure the hose isn't sliding on it. A little bit more. Because if you do have leaks, what's going to happen, you're going to start really smelling a lot of diesel. Nobody wants diesel smell in your living space. Of whether you do it in a van, a car, a converted trailer like myself. Now I'm just going to find a good way to route this wire so it'll be nice and clean. It's not a big deal to do this. It's just wiggle and jiggle until you get everything back in there. I think it was more of a pain that I got to do this in the first place. Doing it itself is not a big deal. Put the bolt back in for our little locating bracket here. Make sure everything's sitting nice. Our handy dandy pliers, just give it a little tighten on that bolt. Just to make sure it doesn't vibrate, work its way loose, and fall out. Make any weird vibrating noises that'll keep you up at night. Plug our plug back in. Just make sure your plug is seated, doesn't pull out. Last thing you want to do is have to do this again just because your plug isn't tight and not making good electrical connection. So, all right, I do not have any 12 volt right now to hook up right here to test this, but I know that it wasn't clickying before. It will probably now. Obviously, if that's not my problem, well, I might come back and revisit this video. You might see me get on there and say, hey, I made a mistake. But I'm pretty sure that this is the problem. It is the common problem that most people have. Hey, we didn't even get to use the bottle, unfortunately. But we're going to go ahead and throw the cover back on. Put the screws back in. Take our top off there. Put our cover back on. When you're putting your cover back on, make sure you're not pinching any hoses or wires as you're doing it. Take your time. There we go. They are just little tiny Phillips head screws that hold the cover on. Little guys like that. I cheated and I used a power screwdriver. Nobody wants to sit there and do it by hand for all these screws. Obviously, it wouldn't be that big of a deal, just annoying. Let's put our cap back on so we don't make a mess. We stop smelling diesel. Although diesel smell is not that bad. Get in the hole. There we go. Just start that one just so it holds everything together. Be a lot easier to line everything up. So, got my little screwdriver here. Yeah, for the first couple, I'm not going to tighten them all the way, just because this they're going to need a little movement for this sheet metal cover. Just so everything goes in nice and good. And I'm sorry that this is on an angle. It's a weird angle. I got the exhaust pipe still attached to this. It's underneath, so it's directly underneath in the middle. So it has to come down, and then I have mine turned back going this way to the rear of the unit, and then down so that it can go through the floor of my trailer and exhaust all the exhaust gases outside. I didn't feel like taking that off. It's kind of a pain. Just because you got to turn the thing on its side. Like I said, we have a full tank of diesel in here. I'm not really trying to drain the tank or make a mess. And basically, that's kind of it. I will be trying to, in the future, shoot some more videos now that I got this cool little tripod that is holding my phone. And hopefully make some better videos, more videos, because it's obviously been a while since I've made one. Just kind of been busy, and I have plenty of projects to do. It's just that you don't, kind of being lazy, not feeling like doing those projects. Plus it's cold out, it's winter time. Most projects you're going to end up doing is going to be, you know, involving you to open up the trailer, and it's kind of getting cold and uncomfortable. Sounds like a lot of complaining, doesn't it? That's how it goes sometimes. So, like I said, like projects, upcoming projects, I have a shower base. I'm going to be building a shower inside of the trailer. Currently, where this heater is sitting, I think I'm going to be building that shower in the front left of the trailer if you're standing inside of it. This heater is up against the front wall, kind of in the center. So over that, I think we're going to be building a shelf, or some sort of a shelf system for what I'm thinking is I'm going to be doing is like for my clothes, maybe a couple drawers or something. Uh-oh. So I got that. I've been looking at getting some new lithium-ion batteries to change the setup I got going. Right now, I do have solar power on the roof of my trailer. I got two 200-watt solar panels. I'm currently just running them to wet cell deep cycle batteries. It's working okay. I can get by with you know, running my heater all night long, but by the morning time, usually low voltage warning is either on if it was kind of a gray day out the previous day where I didn't get to charge much. Like I said, it's winter time. It's kind of like winter time now, so I'm not charging at a great pace. I think typically right now I'm pulling at about, on average, probably maybe 1 or 2 amps throughout the daytime. It's not great. Obviously, I would like more. But, I mean, I am hitting 100% at nighttime. At least, you know, before the sun goes down. So we're going to be changing to lithium ion soon. I am looking at possibly getting 2 300 amp hour lithium ion batteries. I've been looking at, I think I'm going to go with Power Queen as the brand. So Power Queen, if you're watching, any help would be great on that. I've kind of really been having my eye on those products. The reviews are very nice. They look like exactly what I want to use. I have high hopes for them. Missing a screw. Awesome. No job would be complete without missing a screw. But anyway, that's basically, I know it's here somewhere. But anyway, that's kind of the repair. There's the pump, the old pump. The unit's pretty much back together. I'm gonna find myself that last screw. I know it's here somewhere. Thanks for listening to me ramble. Hopefully, I'll get this channel going and make some more videos, do some cool stuff, keep people entertained, at least for a couple minutes. But, see you guys. Thank you.